How do you reconcile the Old Testament and the New Testament? Yeah, because when you look at the Old Testament, the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament, like you wonder, are they really the same God? The Old Testament it seems like a bloodthirsty God, whereas the New Testament God is like a God of love. So how do you reconcile these two if it is claimed that they are the same God?
Okay, good question. Many people say to me, Cliff, it appears that the God of the Old Testament is a God of wrath, and the God of the New Testament is a God of love. So there you've got a fundamental contradiction right in the Bible. Well, I think it's clear when you read the Bible carefully that both the Old and the New Testament reveal that God is good. And part of His goodness is revealed in His hatred of evil. If you can watch a child being abused, if you can watch a human being carved up by a criminal, and if you can just apathetically, indifferently stand there and say, well, that's interesting, you are not good. If you are good, confronted by evil, confronted by a heinous crime, you are morally indignant, and you try and stop that evil. Well, both the Old and the New Testament reveal that God is good, and part of His goodness is revealed in the way He is morally indignant over evil and must punish evil. And so you're right, sir, in the Old Testament, God chooses at times to judge certain people groups for the atrocities they've committed. But one of the most beautiful descriptions of the love of God is in the Old Testament. It's the book of Hosea. Hosea was a prophet of God who was married to a woman named Gomer. Every night the music would filter in through their bedroom window. Hosea's wife Gomer would get up, would leave the old man walking the streets, searching for the younger, stronger, more virile men. Every morning Hosea would get up and would walk the streets, searching for his wife Gomer. He would find her literally beaten, sexually abused, lying in the street. He would pick her up, bring her home, clean out her cuts, bandage her wounds. But inevitably, every night, as the music would filter in through the window, Gomer would get up, would leave the old man, searching for the younger, stronger, more virile men. One day, Gomer's lovers brought her down to the slave market to sell her to the highest bidder. Hosea went down to the slave market, bartered against other men to buy back his wife. He paid a high price for her.